bad.
I think Eager kind of just maybe like outdrafted them, because if you notice, Sour's comp like really didn't make sense. Like they got the Odin, alright, cool. Odin has like 100% win rate in NA, but then like you have a Rat with a Chunga. Like there's no synergy there. Like Eager's comp was literally better than Sour's comp at every stage of the game. Even if you were ahead, Sour's like I would rather take Eager's comp. Like really.
I would have to agree here. Well, game 2, SoaR still playing for first seed. If they lose this, Eager has first seed in that group. Otherwise, it goes over to SoaR if they can manage this win.
So going into game number 2, it's going to be SoaR this time trying to first pick it. Obviously, giving away the Terra, it didn't help their case in that first game, so trying to make the adaptations. And this time, it's basically going to be a little bit of a role reversal between these first picks.
A little bit different, though. Instead of the Jing going for that Hun Batz, which Jellly was obviously very comfortable on.
Definitely wants to transition off of that momentum is such a good thing to do. Almost like we mentioned before, being an impact in every single kill for Eager that last game.
It was 13-1 and 13, I believe, at the end, only dying in that last final push, and there was 29 kills on the board, so a great job overall. And this time, it is a little bit of a role reversal here. It's going to be SoaR with this Scylla.
Yeah, I don't think I've... Well, actually, Shalber, back in the day when his name was Blink, I want to say it was his name at the time, he would literally only play Scylla in ranked. Like, he got to Masters in mid with Scylla, like at least 95% of his games. I've never seen him play it on Xbox yet, but maybe it's something they've been working with, so I'm actually pretty eager to see what happens with this Scylla pick.
He's one of us, man.
He's one of us.
He's one of us.
It's meant to be. Bacchus locked in. Hun Batz, Bacchus, Odin, you know, this is telling me obviously Odin going to be over to the solo lane for Dwurst here. What matchup would you like to see SoaR take into that?
Something with a lot of like, something that's really good early. Like something that is really good from level 1 to 12, something that that can get them the pressure.
Why have we seen Robin fall off? Because I mean, Robin used to be that early game dominance. But there's a couple other options. Osiris as well. Osiris a little bit harder to play, though.
Yeah. Osiris, I think Osiris is just better than Robin on Xbox right now. But then you don't really want the Osiris because every LAN game goes late. So therefore you want more of these Amaterasus, Odin, and gods like that. Or like how Wolves likes to play like Ymir, stuff like that. A lot of these Guardians and stuff like that.
Well, final composition for SoaR here. They're going to pick up the Ares and Thor.
Much better.
A lot more synergy in this lineup.
And a lot more comfort picks as well. Chapo playing his Thor signature pick. Chacho playing his Ares signature god. So I definitely like what SoaR have gotten for themselves in the second game.
Knowing someone like Chapo and Chacho personally on like a personal level, I can't see them losing this game because being embarrassed like that with like the pride that you have, I don't think they'll let themselves be embarrassed that badly and come out and lose again.
And honestly, you know, I was kind of joking with Chapo when he was on the desk earlier, you know, hey, is Jellly a better jungler than you? Well, I mean, it wasn't just Chapo that game, but Jellly definitely looked like the best jungler we've seen at this tournament in that one game alone. Ice's final pick here. What's your prediction, homie? Is it SoaR?
SoaR. I gotta get SoaR. Chapo's Thor, Chacho's Ares, Shalaber's Scylla. I think the comp for SoaR this game is much better than Eager's.
Uzzy with the Terra yet again. He's going to be an unkillable machine once he gets 3 items online. I got to give it to SoaR here.
I'm feeling SoaR as well here. Who are you guys feeling, Tom and Aggro?
Rest in peace, rival.
I got to go with what homie was saying in the sense that just this is not a team that will allow you to embarrass them one too many times.
There's a lot of pride there. There's no doubt about that, and I love the comfort picks like they were mentioned on the desk. Chapo, Thor, I mean, obviously, that's you don't have to say anything else about that, but Eric on this Ares, bro, Chacho on Ares, I mean, it was kind of a joke whenever he was playing with Paul and the rest of Cognitive for a little bit in between season 2 and 3. The joke was just, they'd be talking about picks and bans, and he would go, "Ayo, give me Ares." So right here, you know, first seed on the line, a lot to play for.
Oh yeah,
Chach sitting there like, "Ayo, give me Ares."
100%. You know, the Chach got his Ares. A lot of the comfort picks coming out, like you heard homie saying about Shalaber, something I didn't know. You know, he just kind of grinded his way all the way up with Scylla just by itself. So that's certainly all well and good. But again, I'm going to lean on you because I'm the guy that doesn't like to pretend to like know what's going on in the players' minds. Is SoaR still tilted?
It's tough to say. I mean, we've been in those situations where I have seen, you know, a sort of bad mood carry over from one game to another after a loss like that. I've also seen times where that motivates Chapo and BroChacho and Uzzy to really, you know, step it up for game 2, and they'll come out swinging and just dominate the other team right back. So it's tough to say. It could go either way.
Yeah, Uzzy to me, Uzzy's not the guy that tilts, really, from my experience watching. He generally plays his game all the time. BroChacho is going to be a really big part of this SoaR team, both you know, on the battlefield and off the field. Talking to him sort of behind closed doors about some of the things that go on in the team. BroChacho is honestly the voice of reason most of the time here. So when it comes down to how comfortable or tilted or whatever word you want to use the team is right now, I'm looking at BroChacho.
That was my role whenever I was there, and then whenever I would get tilted, it was BroChacho's role. So no surprise to hear that he's been doing that, and I'm sure he's doing a really good job of it. Eric is one of those dudes where, you know, he'll be totally normal for a game, and then afterwards he'll be like, yo, dude, I'm so sorry. I was tilted that entire time. And I'm like, what?
What?
You were completely normal. What are you even talking about? That's just the kind of guy he is.
Yeah, he's one of the more stand-up guys, and it certainly translates into the gameplay here. Shalaber's going to have to change his gameplay a little bit.
So Shalaber just showed that he doesn't have Sentinel available, which means that if Eager wants to go aggressive, he might not even get it until level 4. A lot of times Scyllas will want to put 2 points in their crush by level 3. That's why I'll usually see 2-3-2 be the level order, not really worrying about that route. But by rooting that minion in lane, Delta Marine and Jellly both know that he's either going to have A, subpar clear level 3 because he doesn't have 2 points in that crush, or B, no escape.
So small little bit of information there gleamed by Team Eager. Certainly going to use that to their advantage. BroChacho already starting off the charge, getting a couple of chains into the opposition in that duo lane.
Picking a low push ADC here into the Ares, a little bit surprising to me. I mean, Aircougar, really known for this Xbalanque back in Season 2, played it a ton, kind of has gone away from it like I mentioned last time. Seems to favor these magical ADCs nowadays, but here going for the more passive lane matchup. Interesting choice by him.
The miss coming out of BroChacho. And yeah, you know, Aircougar, this is the guy that he sort of hung his hat on. In fact, I think the claim to fame for Aircougar is the fact that he brought Xbalanque into a meta that the PC world actually wound up dragging out of him, believe it or not. Usually it's looked at the other way, but Xbalanque was very effective in the throwing dagger meta, and Aircougar was the one to really start that one off. So.
Zapman, yeah, taking it from his own player there in the hunter role, and you know, you got to also give credit to the box for showing the PC world that Guan Yu is OP. I mean, that was all us, man.
Absolutely. Right now, BroChacho is being the target of those branching bolas. Instead of retreating, though, he's getting aggressive. Double chain, triple chain, Myflin in trouble, couple of basics out of StormyRays, first blood going to the Chach.
That's how you love to do it. That's how you draw it up in lane. You use the flop, you get triple chain, and I love the decision making from Chach to go for the triple chain onto the Bacchus. A lot of times you'll see him switch it up and, you know, try and get the double chain, trying to keep the dash coming out from Xbalanque, but understanding exactly how much damage they needed, hits all 3 change onto Myflin, and he's not able to get away. And actually, looking at the relics, I was wondering, hold that thought, Aircougar gonna have to use the purification. That's Ares, man. That's why you pick the Ares. But, so you see that Myflin actually went for purification here because he's been in this situation plenty of times against SoaR, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
He knows that he's going to be the focus, and if he doesn't get this, he's going to die over and over and over again. But if he's got a shell there, he lives. If he's got a sprint there, he lives. It's just forcing him to that purification gets that first blood in the duo lane.
Uzzy's in trouble, gets jumped on here. Dwurst drops down the cage, looking for a couple of basics, because that's all Odin can really do at this point. Gungir's Mind, couple more will do it, and Dwurst able to answer back with a solo of his own. Chapo gets stunned out, forced to use the purification, quick turnaround. He's able to teleport to the tower, or the hammer rather, but Eager, on the other hand, still staying aggressive, looking for the speed buff here on the right-hand side. BroChacho's available, ultimate out of Jellly to drop SoaRChapo out of the way. He follows him under the tower. That might have been a mistake. Chapo looking for another basic, can confirm it, but the jump away from Jellly. Chapo's angry, up to the sky, not looking for the solo kill, helping out the team. Delta Marine gets squashed and murdered. Chapo gets it back.
Just a tough situation where he had to go back and help out BroChacho, couldn't keep going deep onto Jellly, who that was definitely a mistake. I don't think he wanted to go into that tower at all. Luckily for him, Chapo didn't have the wall available, so he couldn't stun him underneath there, but turns around, gets that kill onto Delta Marine, and now no purification on Delta Marine for the next 2 minutes plus. I expect SoaR to be looking at him with that Ares ultimate.
Myflin jumps right on in, protecting the speed buff, and that'll work out. Chapo walking away there. But we talk a lot about the maturation of these players and how long they've come. I feel like certainly last year, Chapo goes up and he lands on Jellly. But this season, this year, this split, Chapo goes up and he sees Delta Marines messing with his team in the backside, and he goes and pulls back with the ultimate.
A much more team-oriented player than he used to be, and it really reflects in his play, not only here in that particular one, but this weekend as a whole, and his just overall preparation level. I used to have to beg Chapo to study up on other teams, to get ready with the picks and bans, and I had to beg him to do that. Now he understands the opportunity he has. He understands that he can't just, do whatever he wants and still be at the top. You could definitely tell that he's just much more focused this time around.
Absolutely. I mean, he just wants to win. He wants to make the correct decision. You ever see a Goofy movie?
Yeah.
You know that really important point where Goofy knows the correct way to go, but he gives his son, the option to navigate, and he's like left to right, and he wants to go left to fish and right. You know what I'm saying? That right there, that was the Goofy movie moment for Chapo. If he lands on Jellly, everybody's upset, but Chapo himself is happy. Oh man, I've been laughing about this with my mic muted for like 4 minutes.
Whenever we go into a cast together, you and me specifically, I always know there's going to be some really obscure reference. But Goofy movie might take the cake as the most obscure reference yet.
It's that one specific spot where Goofy's like, left or right, son? And he's just like, I don't know, can't handle it. Aircougar can't handle the knockups at a Stormy. Gets pushed back a little bit, 25%. Oh, I wanted to see them take that 1v1.
But the rotation coming in from Eager is why you don't see it from Stormy. But he's
now
not
that's
backing up.
He's going in.
Oh, for sure. But not backing up enough. Myflin gets spotted out by that ward eventually. Chapo stuck in an awkward position. Jellly beats our force. Bro, Chacho's looking for the ultimate.
Go for it, Chapo. Chapo lands right into the Fear No Evil. Gotta give credit to Jellly on that one. Out of control ultimate, hearing it and making the plays off of it. Bro, Chacho gets a pull, but he gets hit into the own ultimate out of the ISIS. Delta Marine, 72 kills, 1 death.
That's classic Eager up against the Ares. Whenever we played against them with the Ares in our game to go to LAN during the SCL Summer Finals, and this is what they do. They just let him pick Ares and then kill him over and over and over again. They wait for the no escape. I love the ISIS selection here. You drop the circle of protection and then just blow them up. As soon as it's over with, you're automatically charging it from the damage from no escape. I love the selection, and they're really abusing this Ares fairly early on.
Yeah, it's a really great pick, and here's the thing. Delta Marine doesn't really play that much ISIS, and in fact, if you ask me what gods Delta Marine plays or what his style is, ISIS probably isn't my go-to answer. So it's kind of interesting to see Eager be able to pull this out and be able to pull it off as well.
This is a god that Unri liked to play a lot of early on during his transition into console, and was one that he was very, very strong on. We haven't seen it as much recently. He kind of went into this Soul, Chronos, Scylla sort of style player, but he always has had this ISIS in his back pocket, and it's very, very strong.
And so right now it's certainly been working out. And, I want to, speaking of working out, I want to touch on the ultimate out of Chapo right there. Perfectly done. But Jellly he hears the sound cue of the Thor coming out of the sky and drops the Fear No Evil. I mean, you want to talk about players being hot and on their game. Jelly's out of control today.
And that's LAN, man. You get that extra you get that split second of reaction time that you don't have online thanks to latency. Here you can react to Fear No Evil coming out. We've seen it a couple times during the PC games over the course of the last month, that players would just use their ultimates in response to hearing the sound cue from Fear No Evil, whereas usually you're going to have to beads, then use your ultimate. It's one of the advantages of playing here on LAN.
And just, oh man, I'm just so impressed with Jellly being able to nail that ultimate right there. That's just, you can tell he's just absolutely on his mark.
It also forced the purification out from Chapo. Underneath that tower, he was forced to use it, was able to get out. The Darkest of Nights from Aircougar really playing big dividends there as well. It's just so hard to team fight whenever you can't see. I mean, communication's great and all, but you still need your eyes in order to do the damage necessary, and that's what makes Xball so strong.
Who turned out the lights? Exactly. Tough being able to fight when you can't see. It's like the power goes out. There's a scene in the Goofy movie where the power goes out.
Unbelievable.
Unrelinquished is what Delta Marine 72 used to be known by. And as we approach our 10th minute, Team Eager his team is right now not so much in the lead per se, but certainly in the lead with the momentum. Jellly looking for aggression on his Stormy. Meanwhile, Delta Marine's in trouble on the right side. Chapo's going to get one with the collapse of the entirety of the team. Chapo takes to the sky more for vision than anything else. There's the pull and the kill onto Dwurst, and Chapo's going to land right down where he came from. So SoaR's able to take the lead as far as the kills are concerned and even inch a little bit in the lead, about 1,000 gold.
Love the team play there from SoaR, catching out Delta Marine by himself. Stormy was in a bad spot as well, was able to get out. I thought the Terra's Blessing was used to make sure Stormy was okay. It just so happened that it was the perfect time to catch Delta Marine alone in the jungle, and then great peel coming out for SoaR when he's caught in that cage.
But here's the problem, and it's not like SoaR had crafted that plan and crafted a play, and so it's not that big of a deal. But the issue, or just they don't get the icing on the cake. SoaR get a couple of kills, but there's no positioning or timing bonus that they're going to get for, you know, a quick objective, even a quick tower. So it's just, like I said, SoaR didn't set up a play, execute at the wrong time. They were gifted a kill or two, and it just so happens that they weren't able to make anything happen because of it. So, I mean, SoaR, what do they get out of that kill? Maybe 500 gold, but...
Sure, but they also get the purification out from Unrelinquished.
That's
Delta
the win
Marine,
there.
which is the big win, exactly. You get the kill, and you got the opportunity to send him packing for the third time early on in this game, which would open up a mid-tower, a Gold Fury, something that you really want. It's not usually the kills that you want, it's what you can get after you kill the opposition.
So it's, I don't know, how else would you phrase that?
I don't know, it's just like stuff that you want to get after the things you do.
Oh, okay. The stuff after the things?
Yeah.
All right, makes sense. Remember when you tried to get me into doing the Kronos impersonation?
Remember when you brought up the Goofy movie twice in 11 minutes?
There was nothing to see that. See, that's stretching it. That's pushing it. I don't give you credit for that one. Ooh, nice damage on the Jellly.
And that's the heat check for Chapo. That's a good sign if you're rooting for SoaR that he's hitting those double taps by itself, not even worried about any sort of CC, doesn't even need the wall, can just throw it out there and hit the double tap. Whenever he does that, that's when he starts to get more and more amped up.
So these solo laners, when are we going to see more involvement with the solo laners? I say solo laners, but Dwurst has been involved. Dwurst has been a big part of this game. Uzzy, on the other hand, who has been he's been very fun to watch this entire weekend. Uzzy's been really quiet this game.
But this is Terra solo. You just chill out, you farm for a while, you throw out your ultimate when you can, and the fact that he's involved in 3 out of the 4 kills across the map, even despite having this, you know, late game Guardian, Chapo forced to use the purification, just bad pathing from him there. Terra's Blessing also used Uzzy, trying to get them out of danger, but really it's Chapo who's gonna pull Delta Marine, but purification was up just in time. Chapo's looking for it, he doesn't see Delta Marine.
Left to right, we're going fishing, helping out the team, landed on Dwurst, and SoaR cleans it up. Myflin gets the flamed on by Chapo, and Jelly's trying to find safety underneath the tower.
That was mid-jungle synergy that we did not see the entire online stage between Chapo and SoaR. That time, Chapo waits for the bird bomb to go off, stuns Odin right away. He might have even negated the damage. It was tough to see from that angle, but then SoaR, quick 180 turn, directly into the Eye of a Monster. Great synergy between those two, and now this is the stuff after the things. You've got the Gold Fury up and Wrath available.
And still trying to help zone out. Chapo takes out a bunch, and Chapo's trying to help out as well. 2 players sift in, but SoaR are able to clear up the Gold Fury. That's going to give them the lead as well. Uzzy catches the teleport. Great heads-up play from the solo laner. Turns around and smacks it down, and there's a second teleport. Chapo gets it this time. Dwurst, stop trying.
Thor's like, all right, I guess I'll just hoof it, man. That sucks. Really great team fight again, though, from
fantastic.
SoaR. What looked like it was going to be just a backup engage off of Chapo's poor pathing towards the left-hand jungle. Chapo goes in. Look at the player damage right now. Ayo. Give me Ares.
Yeah, 100. And that right there, again, I want to give it up. Not just, it's easy to stack damage on Ares, and it's easy to just sort of like blink and ult, right? Ares is one of these characters that can be brain dead, but if you want to bring it to the next level, you've got to really find these situations where Chapo is able to inch forward onto the tower, make sure to get Delta Marine. That ultimate doesn't matter if he doesn't get Delta Marine. He picks him up, he starts a team fight, and again, gotta tip my hat to the new Chapo. Chapo goes up to the sky, and he could have landed on Delta. But he helps out the team instead.
And now he's gonna be another blink initiation. Circle protection is down, as well as Darkest of Nights. Terra's blessing pops. Stormy finds a solo kill in the duo lane. Fear No Evil just used to get everyone out, but look at the health that they've got. Great root from Shaliber. There goes Jellly.
And just a big hit coming out of Shaliber. Complete turnaround from game number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the early game, the late game damage even. In the early game, I'm a Monster almost sets up Chapo for the double tap through the wall. Myflin just able to get out of dodge there, but this mid tower is in trouble.
I think you heard me audibly gasp. You saw the single hit, Dwurst is gone. You see the single hit on a Chapo's hammer, and then the double tap almost came through. Oh my goodness, this SoaR team. Next push, we gotta let you hear them. We're gonna go to a listen in as soon as SoaR. I don't know when do they not get excited?
Yeah, exactly. I can hear them through our headsets across another wall. I mean, they're going ham, and that's what you don't want to hear if you're on Eager. And for as dominating as Eager was in game 1, it's almost the same here in game 2. Only 15 minutes in, and SoaR's up 6,500 gold right now.
Yeah, I mean this is incredible. And what's fun to watch about this one is that last game, it was all the Jellly show, right? You just kind of watch Jellly. He was like 8 million, 0 and 8 million, and that's all fun in games. But SoaR right now are doing it as a unit. Their support is leading the kill charge, which is always hilarious, and then the rest of the team is just sort of following up suit. And honestly, like that's the goal, right? Your support goes in, starts the fight, and you follow up. The problem here for SoaR is that their support goes in and kills players before they're able to follow up.
That doesn't sound like a problem to me. It sounds like a nice recipe for success. Myflin gonna get caught out a little bit here in the jungle. Knock up after the stun, forces the Darkest of Nights. Chapo going in right now.
Yeah, right here he's gonna get aggressive, lands on Myflin, gets the double hit, now turns around, changes targets to the mid laner, forced up into the ultimate out of his zone, one more hit, StormyRays with the plays, gets his second kill of the game, 10 in total for SoaR Gaming, and they're looking down at Team Eager's 3.
Cougar pushing this left-hand side, just trying to get a little bit of gold for his team, but it's gonna be a lot of gold going the way of SoaR as they push down this tier 1 tower on right. StormyRays does back, so it doesn't look like SoaR might not be able to get this tier 2 without their hunter there.
All right, SoaR's pushing one more time. Let's listen to them.
Push right. My bad. You're good. It's Ricochet.
We're good. I got heal. 1, 2, he's gonna gank. Back up, reset.
We're good.
I got ready. Nice. Back up slowly. Take a mid. That's X-Ball B. I'm getting
Keep pushing left.
Alright, Myflin Beats, come on this way.
Andy, we're good.
Back up heal.
Good shit.
I got Terra. Set up for goal.
Good shit, guys.
X-Ball B's down.
Good shit.
Let's go. X-Ball B's down. Let's go. It's force gold. Let's get the buffs on the right side. We set up for gold. We know X-Ball's gonna have beats. Let's finish them. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's the target. That's part of the station. Hold tight for CC. Let's get it. Fuck, I have no voice.
Yo, boys, it's approaching. It's approaching.
Get the gold right now.
It's getting 20 minutes, so we gotta get words on.
Yo, Captain Chapo right there. You heard him at the end just dictating everything. What I really liked was, so when players get excited here, and it's actually, in a perfect world this doesn't happen, but adrenaline fuels, right? Everybody just starts repeating things, right? Xbalanque beats, and everybody's yelling. You hear Chapo go, all right, you got his beats, let's walk away.
That's very, that is not Season 2 Chapo,
No.
being the one to say, back up,
That's what I'm saying.
back up together, run to me. I love the comms coming out of him. His comms are always on point, but they're really solid. And Shaliber, that ult was a little bit off the mark, but overall, Shaliber has played absolutely lights out this game.
It was a nice little pull onto Dwurst and the follow-up from everybody else. Dwurst quickly brought down to about 10%, but no follow-up until StormyRays finds the hit off of the flamethrower from Brochacho. Chapo's go to the sky. Chapo's landed on Cougar. Chapo's turned it around. A little bit of help from mid lane. And he's going to be stunned out. Chapo gets the kill while he's elsewhere. And Jellly finally puts down ElSoarchapo.
Jellly comes back in and Uzzy cleans him up. 3 dead for Eager. Only Myflin and Delta Marine remain, and it's going to be a free Gold Fury going the way of SoaR, already up 10,000 gold. In fact, they're not even worried about that Gold Fury. Looks like they're going for Fire Giant.
Chapo throws the hammer out, gets CC'd, and gets the kill on the backspin from the hammer while he's getting Fear No Evil against the wall. Yeah, that's luck. But it's
drawing it
still
up.
fun to watch.
That's, oh, please. You know he'd be like, nah, Bobby, that's how I knew he was going to fear no evil me.
Oh, I'm going to get a tweet later. Papo, why you gotta be rude? I planned that. Absolutely, he's gonna say it. Right
Without
now,
a doubt.
SoaR, this game, and this is what homie said on the desk, and this is what I agreed with. SoaR is not a team that will let you embarrass them. If you, this is a team where it sounds kind of crazy because most teams operate the other way. But if I'm playing against SoaR, I want to beat them, but I want to make sure I don't beat them too hard because this is the response. Like you anger the sleeping giant, and hot and cold. That's definitely true for SoaR. But I think in my 2.5 years of covering Smite, both SCL and SPL, I think this is probably the most momentum-driven team I've ever seen. More so than Classic Dignitas on PC side. This is the team that they function off of adrenaline.
That's all it is, man. That's what you get whenever you're led by Chapo. I mean, he's just an adrenaline player, 4-1-8, top of the player damage charts. There's a reason Thor used to be permabanned against this guy, and you can see it right here. He's been absolutely on fire this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's what is this play? We know SoaR love to play their sort of trap plays, right? Where they just sort of group up behind a rock and they gank somebody. Not going to be the case as they walk over a ward, but the right side of the map is going to be sieged.
And that's going to be the last tower down for Eager. Going to extend this gold lead even further. Another 1,500 gold
It's
for
the
SoaR.
Leaning Tower of Cheesa.
First the Goofy movie, now...
That's the quote from the
I know.
Goofy movie.
Unbelievable. Can we... Oh, God.
Got him. He's so mad right now. It's funny because you're the pun guy and I'm the reference guy. And
Yeah,
so
but Goofy movie? Like,
yo,
really?
it's a classic. Hate on me. I don't even care. SoaR Gaming, lead, 14K. Kills, 10. Pushing down to the right side. 21 minutes on the clock. This is the type of lead you get in a half hour, not 20 minutes.
And there's the stun on to Myflin. Immediate chains from Brochacho. Shell popped. Myflin wants to try and do something. Intoxicate only finds
Chapo's
one.
up. Chapo's looking for blood. Here comes the rest of SoaR. The lights go out, and so does Myflin. Taken out single-handedly by the Thor. Chapo turning around, so many chains, and they're all hit by the Ama Monster. Double kill for Chapo. Stormy gets one as well. Brochacho goes down, but I think it's too little too late.
Only 2 members left for Eager. SoaR looks like they're going to secure the first seed, 18-5 right now. Comes back after getting dominated. They dominate right back.
Jelly's alive right now. He's trying to do what he can. He gets a kill on his StormyRays. Half HP still on the Titan. Chapo's able to shut him down. 3 players alive, but Uzzy and Brochacho barely. Shalibur's going to die to the Titan. Uzzy's going to die to the Titan as well. And they just barely get it. Oh, for as clean as the game was, they had me sweating at the end. SoaR take it with a literal sliver of HP left. And right now, they're certainly feeling it.
A team that needed to 2-0 elevate to stay out of the gauntlet. The 4th seeded team in North America. They're going to overtake Rival. They overtake Eager. They are your first seeds coming out of Group A.
Yeah, this team, they've come from a long way. When, well, you departed the team. When they lost their mid laner and got another one, there was a lot of chemistry issue going haywire there. Every now and then, they'd sort of fix it up and pick it up. But Brochacho said himself, he said this LAN was probably the biggest medicine needed for that relationship. And honestly, this LAN or not, this weekend, Shaliber and Chapo look like they're playing like brothers.
As long as there's no Chunga. I think that we can finally close the book on Chunga mid, because you put him on this Scylla, you put him on a god that can follow up on the CC correctly, and he was on point all game. The roots off the wall. I mean, you have to be quick on that. Especially in the early game when that wall's not stunning for super long. Sikkum's a slow ability. You've got to be quick on that, and he was following up beautifully. That's a synergy that Chapo loves to have in mid.
Still, you know, it's my thing. I always give a shout out to the support. I feel like they're the unsung heroes. I don't got to do the heavy lifting this time. Brochacho made it all clear that he was the guy.
Unsung hero of that game was really Stormy. I mean, Stormy did his job. He got a solo kill onto Aircougar in the left-hand lane. Just was the extra damage that they needed, the CC off the CC with the knock-up. he did his job, but you're right. I mean, it was actually Brochacho who was the one who did the most of the heavy lifting in that lane.
Brochacho set up, he brought it home, and he got the win. We've got Adonis, Anatoly, and Young Homie standing by. Let's break down the last game.
SoaR looking like a real team in Game 2. Game 1, not so much, but that second game, everyone really stepping up.
It's interesting to see a team that gets lit a fire under them after losing the first game so convincingly, and then the second game just coming off firing with the Thor, just doing a good job transitioning from that play, as well as the Scylla for Scylla.
Yeah, I think SoaR just said, all right, let's just play our game. You know, we got first seed on the line, $5,000 on the line. We want to go first in the Worlds. Let's just get this W real quick. And they played their comfortable picks, and they showed up to play this game.
Both on 7 points there, but
it's actually going to be SoaR with, I believe, SoaR with 7.
they'll have 7.
Eager has
SoaR
5.
should have one more
Eager
point.
have 5. That's it.
That's
Yeah,
what it is.
SoaR
Eager
have 7,
5.
Eager have 5. But in the end, SoaR take #1 seed coming out of the first group. Really dominant performance overall. I mean, they had one slip up, and it was a pretty big slip up in that first game. But overall, looking incredibly dominant. Congratulations to them. Unfortunately, Rival could not make it, and honestly, if there was another day of LAN, it might have gone differently. Rival really have put on a better performance after that first day.
It's very interesting to see how teams adapt throughout the weekend, right? The first day is usually the testing grounds, but unfortunately, Rival got tested against SoaR, who came out to play right off the bat. Such great synergy between these 5 members, and I'm really excited to see them at Worlds.
Also, SoaR kind of fighting their fire towards the end of the season also kind of messed up the groups and made that group a group of death. Because SoaR went through, what, 3 mids this split? And they only really started playing like a high-caliber team once they picked up Scylla.
And it was different from when they picked up Scylla to with Scylla at LAN as well. They were a team that really couldn't get together, and, you know, a top team like this with a ton of experience dropping really did switch it up.
And even StormyRays, he used to play solo lane before back in the day for SoaR, and now he's transitioned into that hunter role, and he's been doing pretty good as well.
He's just a solid player, it seems. Stormy's not going to carry you, but he's also not really going to make you lose. He just does kind of his role.
StormyRays definitely isn't a level of like Keeks or Transonics, but I'd say Stormy is definitely a solid player and he knows his role, and I think he plays his role perfectly.
And Eager as well. I mean, the second game didn't go their way, but they had a really strong performance in LAN overall as well.
Yeah, SoaR, I don't think many people, like, if you would have said SoaR in the beginning of the split, if you would have told me that they would have made Worlds, I would have said, I don't believe it, Rival all the way. But they definitely turned up this LAN right here and towards the end of the split, and I think they definitely deserve the spot.
And sorry, I did mean Eager. Eager looked really good as well.
Yes.
They're always good, but I mean, backs against their wall, homie. You talked about it, how they don't really ever have to face those matches, and yet they had three games to do it, and they did it in the first one.
It was just such a great performance from them overall this whole weekend, I would say. They did get tested in this last set. They came out to play, but then that kind of angered SoaR more than anything else heading into that
with
second.
that fire, man.
It's like stirring basically a beehive kind of deal.
I know Cougar said before the set, he was like, I've never lost 3 games of Smite, competitive Smite in my life. I've never lost 3 in a row. And I know every single person on the team was definitely had the fire to make Worlds. And the only time they've ever had their back against the wall was when they had a 2-1 lead against us. And I don't think they wanted to like let each other down again.
And even through the role swaps, Myflin and Jellly both performing extraordinary in their new roles.
Myflin and Jellly definitely MVPs for Eager, I think, this line.
I mean, the others... you know, we talked about kind of StormyRays just kind of doing his thing, but it was really those two who were just the carry projects, and everyone else, not that they played poorly or anything, but it was really off the follow-up of those guys.
And those two are the ones that did the role swap to start off for Eager from the summer split to the fall split, and as a result, they're still doing wonders in their positions.
Well, Myflin here, we've got him on the sideline with aggro to finish out the SEL Fall Finals.
Yeah, I am joined by Myflin, the new support for Eager, but we'll get to that in a moment. Myflin, you're going to Worlds, dude. How does it feel?
I mean, it feels phenomenal, honestly. I never thought I'd get to go to such a huge event. I get to go with my best friends, you know, and it just feels great, honestly.
Well, that's awesome. Talk to me about that role swap that they were alluding to on the desk. I mean, you and Jellly coming into this fall split, you moved from the jungle to support. How did that transition go for you personally and as a team?
As a team, I think we definitely work better emotionally, right? Because as we can see, support sometimes they just kind of get ruined by the professional teams, right? They like to camp you, and you know you're not tanky yet. Jellly can't really handle that kind of pressure, right? He gets ragey. We talk about that. It's a fun joke. But I'm kind of more mellowed out. I don't really rage as much. So now that we fall behind early, we can actually come back from it and not have like controllers on the walls.
I mean, you also do have the carry potential out of Jellly in the jungle in game 1. I mean, my man went off. What was that like, you know, having that total snowball lead early on?
Oh my goodness. Jellly was phenomenal. You might have heard me from the caster desk, honestly, screaming. He was going off, and you know what? It felt fantastic, honestly. I didn't feel like I needed to be a factor.
But you were. I mean, on this Terra, I was talking to you in between sets, you know, a couple days ago, and you were talking about how, yeah, I'll play Terra if I'm allowed to, but no one seems to let me have it. How excited were you when you were able to get that Terra first pick?
I was like, man, I'm going to be able to play aggressive, and they can't punish me, so, you know, it just fits me perfectly.
Feels good, man. Why do you think that the European scene as a whole was not as successful as they wanted to be coming into this? I mean, kind of surprising that the team that only lost 2 games entirely during the online split in Rival isn't going to Worlds.
I think it's mainly because they put all of their talent on one team, right? Like, if you have 2 talented teams, they can practice each other and like elevate their game individually. But since they put all of their talent on one team, Rival, they have no one to practice against, so it's just a stomp, as we've seen from their records.
All right, well, I mean, 4 North American teams go to Worlds. It's going to be you guys, SoaR, Allegiance, and Aware. I know it's early, but how are you guys feeling looking at those 4 teams?
I think we have a lot to work on, and we know exactly what we want to do to prep. I think if we can get what we want done in the time allotted, we're going to have a pretty good shot at making first.
Well, you got a little bit of time. Worlds is not going to be until January, early on in January. And make sure you guys are sticking around, though, because even though the SCL fall finals are done, we've got super regionals already. It's already coming up next week, basically. But let's take a look again here at these groups before we go towards super regionals. If we take a look at Group A, that was your group. It's going to be SoaR up on top. They finish with 7 points. You guys with 5, Rival with 4, and Excel, you know, we know all about their struggles that they had this weekend. Unfortunately, not able to find any W's throughout the 3 days. Looking at Group B, like I mentioned, the 2 teams coming out of Group B are going to be Allegiance and Aware in that order. That's going to be your top seed Allegiance, and then Aware right after that. They finished that off today, determining their top seed in Group B. Elevate looked a little bit stronger up against Cyclone, the Keegsmate show basically on Kronos, but still only able to find 3 points on the weekend. So any surprises that these are the 4 teams that are going to Worlds for you?
Honestly, no. I expected all these teams to go because they put in the effort, they work together cohesively, and they're all just great guys generally. Yeah. So not only am I not surprised, but I'm actually incredibly happy that these people get to go.
It's gonna be really exciting. I'm really excited for hi-rez Expo, and like I mentioned, I'm really excited for Super Regionals. That's gonna be happening on Wednesday. I mean, it feels like it's all happening so fast. You can see you've got your qualified teams coming out of the offline group stages here that happened over October. It's gonna be Eager and Denial, SoaR and Luminosity out of North America, Orbit, Obey, Energy, and Sanguine. Those teams only need to win 1 best of 5 to secure their spot at Worlds. Those losers will drop down into group play and will join the 2 gauntlet winners, Allegiance and Dignitas. That's going to be a round-robin style group play to determine the 2 wildcards going to Worlds out of there. Myflin, you got any projections for Super Regionals?
I can't really predict anything that they're going to do. You know, it's just all the players on the PC and both consoles, honestly, are just so talented, and they bring so much to the table when they go to like any sort of event or any sort of anything that really puts their back against the wall. I think, I don't know.
You think they're going to learn about this Odin solo, like, first pick meta that Wolves and Uzzy have kind of made?
I'm not sure if anyone can wear it like, you know, Wolves and Uzzy do, but
that's true.
If they figure out how to, I think that'll be a sight to see.
It'll be awesome. I'm really excited. Thank you guys so much for joining us this entire weekend. That's going to be it for the console boys until hi-rez Expo. But like I said, make sure you join us on Wednesday for Super Regionals. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll catch you on Wednesday here on hi-rez TV.